Okay, hear me out with this one. Here we have a 2009 Frigidaire model. Focus. I'll just read it out to you. It's model FAC 127S1A. Made in 2009. I don't see the date. Oh yeah, 03 of 09. It's got R22, 25 ounces, and this is a 12,000 BTU air conditioner. And it's already fogged up my lens. Now, focus. A lot of people don't seem to like this generation of Frigidaire units. They consider the old WCI ones the last really good ones, and I have to agree with that. The WCI units are the last really good ones, but this generation here, this style, and the one before, I really like the one before, where they have the fan motor that's like a consistently variable speed, so it goes from like 0 all the way up to like 99, you know, it's a consistently variable speed instead of just high, medium, and low. This doesn't have that control set. However, I still think that this is probably the last okay generation of air conditioners. It's definitely not a vintage unit. The quality of the vintage units is just really not there, but they're still good enough quality to last a good while, work a lot, you know, work decently. They're not like the new ones, which are too cheap to do their own job properly. And honestly, I find that pretty much any unit up until the end of R22, they're pretty decent. But I do particularly like this generation of Frigidaire, and I've been looking for one of these for a little while. Now that could just be because I remember seeing these a lot, and we actually had one of these over at a friend's house in the living room. It basically cooled the whole house. I ended up getting the unit a while back. I don't remember exactly what I did with it, but it was rotted out because nobody ever drilled a drain hole in it. Unfortunately, I didn't get a video of this one while I had it apart, but this one's incredibly clean. I don't think anyone cleaned it because if you look in here, it's dirty, but it's pretty clean. I should mention, I did take it apart. I did a dry cleaning. I didn't get it wet. You'll see how good the flow over the evaporator, or the condenser is in a bit. The airflow. I drilled some drain holes in it. Other than that, it's fine. I sucked all the debris out with a vacuum cleaner, because of course these have a stupid vent on the top. I don't know why they have to have a vent on the top. Stuff just falls down into it. But as far as these units go, this one's in good shape. It's still got the side things. Now, these units do have two big problems, or not big problems, but they do have two common problems, and it's really all I've ever seen fail on these units that's not caused from physical damage. One of them you might be able to hear right now. The fan bearings in these go bad. Now, the fan bearings in this one, oh, shut up, are just starting to get noisy. That was my multimeter. The fan bearings in this one are just starting to get noisy. They're at the point where they're not quite obnoxious yet, but they're getting there. Good news is you can take the motor apart pretty easily, put new bearings in it, and it'll be good to go. And I'm going to do that at the end of this season. But it's not to that bad point yet. The other thing that goes wrong on these, and I don't know what it is with this generation of Frigidaire specifically, but they get the mold, and boy do they ever get the mold. The one I told you about a bit ago, I would have to take that thing, clean it every couple months, and the mold would be back. Now, I'm not, oh my god, there's mold, bzz, 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 bzz. You know, almost any air conditioner is going to have some mold in it somewhere. It's not going to kill you. It's not going to make you instantly sick. It's not going to cause any problems unless it's like a huge infestation. This unit did not have that. I don't want you turned off. This unit did not have that. I did clean the inside of the styrofoam duct and the blower wheel. I need to take this front cover back off and clean these vents. Clean in there. Because you can see that they've got, well, see, a lot of that is dust. See that? A lot of that's not actually mold, it's just dust, but I cleaned that inside. Of course, there's nothing you can do to make the styrofoam look good again. That's just a thing of the styrofoam. Once it's been like that, you can't really get it looking good again, but I can assure you all the mold is cleaned out of it to the point where it's not full of mold. Will it come back? Absolutely. Do I really care? Not really. Anyway, this unit's in really good shape. It's a 12,000 BTU. I say it's in really good shape for what it is. I'm pretty sure it was kept pretty clean. Yes, I need to clean the condenser. You can see that this is full of water. See how that, the whole, all the way up to the top of the coil is full of water? Now, I got home and turned this unit on. Now, this is the thing. This room, I was using this Amana, and while that is a much better unit, and I've already mentioned, all I keep finding are these little tiny units for some reason, little 5,000-6,000 BTU units. That's a 6,500, and while it does cool this room, it doesn't do it like I want it to. If you leave it running constantly, it's fine. I got home, let's see, I wrote it down because I'm trying to time how long it takes to get it down to the right temperature. I got home at 3:15. It is 3:35 right now, or 3:37. I think I took the time off of that one, though. I need to fix my clocks. Yeah, 3:35. I think that's what I went off of. I don't know. Anyway, I got home and it was 83 degrees in here. And that quickly, on low fan, it's gone down to 76. That's what I want. I want it to, you know... I want it to, if it were up to me, I would just leave it on because honestly it would take less power to leave the air conditioning on when I'm going to be here and it's, you know, whatever. If I leave for a few hours, I would leave the air conditioning on. It would take less power and the smaller unit would be fine. But my mother freaks out about things taking power and everything has to be turned off when I leave. So it gets up to like 85 degrees. So when I come back, I want to turn the air conditioner on and I want it to be like at least down to a comfortable level, which is, in my opinion, you know, bearable would be like 75 or below, but I really want it to be about 68. But I want it to get down pretty quickly, and this thing wasn't doing it. So I found this for $15, so I figured, what the hell, I'll pick it up. I figured it had bad fan bearings, it does, but like I said, I can replace that. It's like $10 worth of parts. I really do like this generation of Frigidaire. It is, what did I say, 76 degrees in here, so it's doing a good job. You can see it's down to 41, it's blowing 41 degrees out of the vent here. Let me go ahead and cut it up to high fan. This thing moves a ton of air, by the way. Like, these things, these perform really well. They might not have the quality of a vintage unit, but I think they still perform just as well. Of course, there are 22. The one thing I did do, which seemed to help a lot, was take the thermostat and put it off to the side here, instead of having it inside of here, because it's like recirculating its own air, even though I have these pointed up all the way. So I put this off to the side, because it kept kicking off on me. Now it's blowing 40 degrees with the fan on low. Alright, we're going to go around to the back of the unit now. I wish I would have gotten a video when I first picked it up, but it was a case where I was gone for a day and I picked it up while I was gone. I came home, it was like 90 degrees in there. I wanted air conditioning, and I didn't want to start up the other one because I didn't want it to get full of water before I installed this one, so I didn't feel like making a video then. So you get what you get. Here's the view from the back of it. It's sort of compact for being a 12,000 BTU. It sticks out pretty far, but it's not extremely wide. you can see how much airflow we have across, I mean, even there, on low fan, we've got a great amount of airflow over that coil. And the coil's in really good shape. You can see it doesn't have any of that rusty color at the bottom there. The pan inside of this doesn't have any rust in it at all. The pan is in excellent condition on the inside. There's no rust. The paint is still on it everywhere, even under the coil, because I did pop the coil up to clean underneath it. The only rust on this machine is on the bolts for the compressor and on the bracketry for the fan has some rust around the screws. That doesn't even matter. I put some drain holes in it. Really? No, nobody wants to hear you right now. I put some drain holes there and one in the corner there. Of course it has that one already, but it's above the bottom of the pan, so it doesn't drain out. There's water that still sits in the bottom of the pan. So I put the drain holes. I know it's hard to hear over the fan motor, but the compressor in this thing sounds really great too. I don't think this unit honestly has that many hours on it. Yeah, look at those trees, see that? So if the condenser was plugged, it might be dirty, but it's not like plugged to the point that it would cause any high head pressure issues or anything like that. Okay, now you can start back up. I guess I'll make a bonus part of the video and get this shitty thing starting up. I love how that compressor's already chattering and that thing's only like 2 years old. That's great. That's a sign of quality. I hate central air conditioning. I really do. It's so stupid. I mean, I guess this is a pretty small house, but I don't know. There's rooms that don't need to be cooled, and then it's stupid because I have this anyway. I mean, literally, I don't know, the living room, nobody's in the bedrooms during the day, you don't need to cool that. And especially if it's like a case here where everyone likes it at a different temperature, central air conditioning's stupid. If you have to have some sort of thing, if you're absolutely opposed to the, oh, it's ugly of the window unit, which honestly, I don't think they're ugly. You know, put a P-tack through the wall, get a damn mini split, I don't know. Especially if you got a bigger house. I mean, you don't need to cool the whole house. Anyway, that's beside the point. The point being, yeah, I think this is quite literally the last generation of somewhat decent air conditioners. I don't want to say good, although I do think that these are pretty good, pretty decent. No, not vintage quality. The quality's not quite there, but the components that really matter, like the fan motor, the compressor, you know, all that's pretty decent quality, except for those bearings, but those can be changed. It's not like the new ones where they're kind of soldered shut. You know, this one's got 3 screws that hold the motor together. You pull it out, and you can change those bearings, which I do plan on doing, and if there's enough interest in that, even though this isn't a vintage unit, I might make a video on that. The other thing is the control set on this unit. It does beep, which is annoying. I don't know why they need to beep like that. I think that's so stupid, because, I mean, obviously you pressed a button, like, you can hear the fan changing, right? I always remove the little buzzer that's in there, and I'm sure I'll end up doing that on this unit, but like I said, not really worried about it. It does have the what was I saying? Oh yeah, the electronic controls on this unit are not obnoxious like the new ones. These are sort of dim green lights. You can see them easily, even in the bright, you know, bright light, but it's not like at nighttime where they're lighting up the whole room with their bright blue LEDs. And then this one, it's also nice. When you first turn it on, it's on whatever mode and whatever temperature you left it on. It's not like the new ones where if you had it on 66 or whatever and cool, when you turn it off and turn it back on, it's going to go back up to 75 and energy saver. This one's on whatever you left it on, which I think is absolutely isn't that such a concept, you know? Whatever. So the electronic controls, although I would rather have a good set of mechanical control. Please don't yell at me for having this sitting on its back. I know it's bad. Anyway, I would much prefer a good set of mechanical controls. These aren't terrible electronic controls. They're basic, they're easy to use, and they do what they're designed to do and nothing else. So, I think they're pretty good. This unit, I'm pretty sure, there's the IR sensor. I'm pretty sure it should have a remote that I don't have. I don't know the part number for said remote. If somebody knows, put it in the description. Although I'm too lazy to look it up, I guess. I don't really need a remote because I sit right here and I can literally just reach over and turn it off or change the temperature or do whatever I need to do. You can see in the time this video take, it's gone down another degree in here. So this thing's doing a really good job at cooling this room down quite quickly with all this heat being produced in here. This is a 12,000 BTU, which is what that 240 volt LG I had in here was, that 2009, same year. This one actually blows colder air than that. You can see it's gone down to 39. This one actually, if you ask me, performs a little bit better as far as like just feeling the cold air out of it. I can't say if it cools it down quicker or not. I think it's about the same. I really like that LG unit. As far, you know, it's a really high-end slide-out chassis LG unit from the time, and it's a 240 volt unit, which is nice. It does heat, which I will never use. But that sleeve just rusted out. I don't know why. This is a fixed chassis unit, if I didn't mention that. This is not a slide-out. This is a fixed chassis unit. So, yeah, there you go. But, you know, it's pretty decent. And it's got these guys. I like the vents on these. You can move them up and down, you know. Right? They're supposed to kind of have a little clicky thing in there. So, it like, click, 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 you know. But it doesn't have those. But that's fine. I want it pointed up anyway. And then you can rotate these, which seem kind of gimmicky, but actually if you feel the air coming out of it, you know, that's moving it that way. And then if I point it this way, it's blowing it this way. I just have them pointed like this to blow straight forward. So, yeah, and it's blowing upward, so that's good. So, I'm not going to turn it off. I would have gotten a start up, but I'm not going to turn it off because I'm actually trying to run a test here and see how long it takes it to get down to like 68 degrees in here. So I'm not going to shut it off now. Yes, I'm aware this window frame is absolutely beat up and just horrible. So, you know, that's good. And yeah, the window is sort of separating, you know, from the rest of the house, so that's good. And yeah, so there you go, air conditioner. You know, it works. I paid $15 for it. You know, it does what it's supposed to do, right? So that's great. It's a 12,000 BTU. It's a Frigidaire with the nice fancy Frigidaire logo. I like that Frigidaire logo. I don't like the new one with the A that's a big square or a triangle or whatever. Anyway, there you go. I'm going to quit rambling now. That's the end of this video.